All right, welcome everybody. It's another episode of Talkin Sports with me, Chris Powers. Got Marty in the house, got Jonathan in the house. We're ready to do this week one of college football. We've already done 1 week, of course, with week 0. I was there in Atlanta for Southern University. We'll talk about that coming up next. But now the big week 1, 4 top 25 matchups. It's unbelievable. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be fun. No question about that. We'll talk more about that as well. We'll pick them. Jonathan and I will pick them this week to find out who we think is going to win. But first, LSU versus Clemson. It's going to be a fun game. It's in the other Death Valley, and that's what we're saying. But look, it is a very hostile environment. There's no question about that. It's a great college atmosphere. We'll talk about that as well. But as we get ready, the week 1 press conference with Brian Kelly, he smiled so much in that deal. You know that Brian Kelly's trying to be the nice guy, but the national media doesn't like him. There's no question about that. I don't want LSU fans not to like him as either, but there's a small group of fans, and I wish they'd go cheer for somebody else that don't like him and what have you. It's stupid, I know, but Notre Dame fans can't stand him because of the fact that he left. I understand that. I would be too, but we don't need these LSU squirrels, as Buddy D used to call them in New Orleans, breaking leaves out of the trees, be LSU fans. Get out of here with that. So this is what Brian Kelly had to say this week as he met the media yesterday for the press conference as he gets ready for Clemson. Check it out.
All right. Great to be back. Obviously, it's game week. Everybody's excited. Excitement is a part of college football and passions. We've got a passionate fan base. They have high expectations. We have high expectations. But like I've said to you, we've been working on this since January. After our Baylor win, the bowl game, we went to work on our roster, our process in developing this football team, so that when we get to these moments, right, it's having a team that is confident, that plays the game the right way in a hostile environment. Many would say composure, maturity, and they've got to play with great competitiveness. Each and every play is going to be important for us. So, when you're putting together the DNA of a football team, it's not just about talent acquisition. It's making sure that you have the pieces necessary to compete in those moments, right? When there's a turnover, when there's sudden change, when momentum's not going your way, what's the makeup of your team? And so I like the makeup. But I want to have this conversation with you after the game, that we competed the right way, right? That our composure was amazing. And we played with great confidence. That's the post-game remarks that we want. But that's why we play the game. But my point being is that we've been at this and working at this and developing these things within our football team for the past 9 months. Now let's go play against a really good team on the road, in what will be a very alive atmosphere, one that is difficult to duplicate. So you make sure you recruit the right guys. And this is a team that we were very intentional about in terms of going out and getting mature players that can stand up to those moments. Clemson, obviously a top-ranked team. Whatever poll you're looking at, it's a top 5 team. They reached the CFP. I know the coach very well. 13 seasons at 10 wins. They're the epitome of consistency at the highest level. I think everybody talks about their defensive players in particular, but offensively, Cade Klubnik is, I think, a quarterback that played his best ball at the end of the year. And is a dual threat. 3 seasons as a starting quarterback, we've made a lot of that in terms of how important it is to come back for a second year. He's coming back for his 3rd year, which I think says a lot about him. Peter Woods, obviously a guy that we're going to have to deal with inside. Parker off the edge is going to require a lot of attention, or they're going to ruin your day. Offensively, I obviously mentioned Cade, who we have a lot of respect for, but a veteran offensive line coming back, playmakers on the outside. Williams and Wesco are outstanding receivers. So, You guys already know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. This is going to be a great challenge, one that we're excited about, one that we're up for. Any goal that you put out there, it's not worthwhile unless it's a challenge. And so this will be a great challenge that our kids are excited. We'll have some rotation, and I think it will be good for us. I think it makes us better. And so, we look at, different battles, right? We're going to play a number of defensive ends and defensive tackles. It's because we'll be better because of it. I think the same thing would be true on the offensive line. You're going to see more than just 5 guys out there. You'll see, at least 6 or 7, could be as many as 8 offensive linemen playing for us. Oh, yeah. It's okay to rotate offensive linemen in. They can do that too. I just think there's a lot of confidence back there. And so how do you measure confidence? It's just the way they handle themselves, the way they play. They believe in themselves. There's a trust factor that they're going to go make a play. I think it starts with confidence. Confidence comes from playing the game, Jacques, right? A lot of those guys that are back there now have played a lot of football. They're experienced players. And when you bring that experience forward, things like confidence come out, high competitive drive. So, look, we got to put it all together. Like, that's why there's great anticipation going into Saturday. But, I think I have a trained eye as to what I'm looking at. And what I see more than anything else is a group that's very confident.
All right, so there you go. And 8 offensive linemen, and we were just talking about that. That's a massive red flag right there. There's no question about that. Garrett Nussmeier will wear number 18. That is the first time since 2003. Matt Malk wore that number and won a national championship with Nick Saban. And Harold Perkins will keep number 7 because of the fact that he didn't get a chance to wear that and have that tradition last year. All indications are that Harold Perkins looks good. All right, so let's break down the game. We're going to hear Jonathan's thoughts right after I break this down. So let's break this game down between LSU and Clemson. Check it out. All right, it's LSU versus Clemson, week 1. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. on ABC. The game will kick off about 6:37 p.m. And believe it or not, this is crazy. It's the first time LSU and Clemson will play in the regular season. LSU's won 2 national championships over Clemson. 1958 when LSU won in the Sugar Bowl 7-0, the final score. They won the 1958 national championship. Sorry, Auburn, you did not win the national title. And then, of course, in the 2019 season, they won it in 2020, obviously, in the Superdome. LSU won that game 42-25 to win their 4th national championship overall in college football's history, in their history. And that was their 3rd since 2023. All right, so it's going to be great. LSU holds a 3-1 record against Clemson. That don't mean nothing, hills to beans, but still in the same way. The Tigers' only loss to the Clemson Tigers came in 2012. You remember in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, LSU was leading most of the game, and Dabo Swinney only in his 3rd season. They came back. They got a big catch from a wide receiver. They were going crazy, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal to win in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. That's the only loss that LSU has had in the history to the Clemson Tigers. So, again, ought to be a big game. All right, let's take a look first at LSU. All right, the LSU Tigers, they start off. This is big. Their running back, I think, going to be good. I think Caden Durham is going to be obviously unbelievable. He's going to be back. He's going to be the starter in this ball game. It just depends on how we're going to get that offensive line, how the offensive line's going to do. Tyree Adams will be the left tackle. Left guard, everyone thinks it's going to be Mubinga. The center will be Braylon Moore. Right guard will be Josh Thompson. And the right tackle will be Weston Davis. That's your offensive line. But Kelly said in his press conference, we heard it just earlier, about how he may rotate 8 guys in the game. When you rotate 8 guys in the offensive line, no, you're not getting stability there. You want stability there. That means they still don't have their position. That's what he's talking about. The other coaches picked that up. There's no question in my mind their offensive line is not set yet. So with that being said, with the running department where they open up the lanes, will they be able to have time to pass the ball? with Nussmeier. It's going to be interesting to see with this because right now I think LSU has got unbelievable amount of talent in the wide receiver spot. I think incredible talent. Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Kyle Parker, they're all back. And then you've added Nick Anderson, Baron Brown, Bauer Sharp, big tight end, Destin Hill, to just unbelievable people to throw to. And I think it's going to be incredible. I really, really do. I think all in all that everybody is set. I think the running backs can be good, but that offensive line has to open up holes. If they don't open up holes, they're not going to be anything. I think defensively, as we mentioned with LSU, I think, with Brian Kelly, and we mentioned, there's confidence there. I think they will be better than last year. Question is, nobody knows how much better until you get to game time situation. Everyone says that Perkins is back to basically being where he needs to be. That's going to be good to see. Whit Weeks, how he's going to be from the first year that he started most of the time to the second starter. How are the defensive backs going to do? Also, Jack Pyburn from Florida. I mean, is he going to be big in that defensive end spot? How about Patrick Payton of Florida State? Jamari Butler. Those are all newcomers on this defensive team. On the edge rush, they're loaded in edge rushing. They've got also some good defensive tackles as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You got Delane at the quarterback spot, the transfer from Virginia Tech. You've got South Florida defensive lineman Bernard Gooden. How's he going to be? A.J. Halsey and North Carolina State safety Tamarcus Cooley. How are they going to be in all the NCAA transfer portals? How they're going to be in their first year? They've got experience now. They've got depth now at the defensive spots. So how is that going to make into this ball game? Let's take a look on the other side. The Clemson Tigers, obviously one of the best. Could they be a lock for the ACC championship and to go to the college football playoffs for the second year in a row? How is it going to be? The hype is big time, and every poll you look at, they're in the top 5 because they're loaded. They've got just as much coming back as anybody in the nation. Of course, it starts with their quarterback, Cade Klubnik, receivers Antonio Williams and Bryant Wesco Jr., opposing defensive linemen like Peter Woods and T.J. Parker. 11 Clemson players made the preseason All-ACC team, and Klubnik was voted as the preseason ACC Player of the Year. This is incredible. This team is incredible. They're loaded. How big are they going to be playing against LSU? And they're at home. And look, that's not Tiger Stadium. We know that. It's not as big as Tiger Stadium. We know that. But it still is a very hostile environment. It is a very good college football scene. They're coming down the rock, touching the rock before they do it, and they come down the hill via the bus. It's a magical scene. It's going to be loud. It's going to be big time. Can LSU win against the Clemson Tigers on the road? We'll talk about it coming up. But this team is going to be a tough team to beat in Clemson. It's a top 10 matchup. You've got a top 5 team going up against the number 9 team in the nation. But that doesn't mean anything because anytime you're in the top 10, you are expected to have a good season. And LSU can lose the first game, and if they don't go in the panic mode, the Tigers can still make the college football playoff and actually get better as the season goes on. I think LSU fans and the players need to understand that. You still got chances to come back if you were to win for that, so it'll be interesting to see. All right, so that's my breakdown of the game. Jonathan, let's hear from you. What are your thoughts? We're going to pick the score coming up in just a moment, or at least what we think is going to win. LSU versus Clemson. What do you got, brother?
CP, it's going to be really tough for LSU to go play on the road. Very hostile environment. The only thing going for them, I think, is the mental game. It's going to be LSU versus the world. Clemson's been ranked in the top 5, and no matter what poll you're looking at, they're a top-ranked team. They've read the press clippings about their quarterback, how he's going to compete for the Heisman, how their offense is explosive, their defensive line is going to be dominant. So hopefully LSU goes in with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, they understood this whole offseason that they've lost the last 5 season openers and not trying to make it number 6, especially number 4 under BK. They've had the want-to-know mentality, signs up all over the building.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I think the defense is going to have to carry this LSU team, especially early in the game down there at Clemson. You're bringing a lot of transfers, especially the edge rushers. You hear Coach Brian Kelly talk about Gabe Rutherford, but they brought in some talented players. They're good up the middle, but our goodness had an outstanding camp, providing pressure right up the gut. LSU's offensive line was a huge question going into this offseason, and I think it still remains to be a big question. If LSU is saying they're going to play 8 offensive linemen in the first game of the season, that means not one guy is really dominating, really not that good. And look, I'm not trying to throw shade at any of these D1 division players that are over 300 pounds, as strong as oxes, but it takes a certain caliber of individual to go in the trenches and really compete every down against somebody who's going to be playing on Sundays in about 8 months. So it's going to be tough. You're going to have to hold Clemson down to at least 17 points, in my opinion, in the first half if you want a chance to stay in the game. LSU obviously has a lot of talent on the outside. The only problem is you're going to have to block that defensive line for Clemson. If you bring a lot of 12 personnel, that means receivers are coming off the field. And if LSU can't run the football, it is going to be very hard for them to generate any kind of offense. Caden Durham, as long as he stays healthy, will have a very productive year for the Tigers. It's going to have to start in week 1, though. Can't be one-dimensional. Everybody knows Garrett Nussmeier can throw the football all over the field, and that plethora of wide receivers going to have to get into a rhythm early where it depends on the run, play action, and take some shots, because if those defenders can just pin their ear back and get after Garrett Nussmeier, it's going to be a tough first week. I think BK in his press conference was kind of laid back. They've been focused on Clemson now for almost 5 months. They've given game planning for now 3 weeks. Look, all the install has been done. The preparation has been done. Now I just got to go out there and play, and it's going to come down to the caliber of player in the locker room who has that mentality of I'm going to go punch somebody right in the mouth. Look, like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got to play until they get punched in the mouth. It's how you can respond to that physicality, because Clemson is going to bring it. They're going to be juiced up, ready to go. They have national championship aspirations just the same as LSU does. So I don't believe the season depends on the first week, but obviously LSU has to get off to a better start. Just for the psyche of it, you have to believe that you can win a game.
Yeah, like I said, they're going to have to say, okay, let's do this. Let's go. We may lose the first game. Let's do it. It's no big deal. But let's move on if they don't win that first game, because it is going to be tough to go in there. There's no question about that. A couple of red flags for me was about the offensive line. So what Tommy Hodson said, I think it was in the Jacques Doucet deal that he does, Tommy Hodson says, please have Garrett Nussmeier roll out. Have him roll out and throw the football that way. Give him more space. Well, then you got your cornerbacks that can blitz. You got your defensive ends that can go out that way. But that's how you can get it. Now, how do you get – so what I'm thinking is going to happen, you're going to do 8 men in the box to start off with. They're going to see how that works. And if they do 8 men in the box, that means their wide receivers, you run a 40-yard dash less than 4.4 every one of you. Let's see how that speed does. Do the fly routes. Do the crossing patterns. Because that's a West Coast offense. The West Coast offense is the 2 wide receivers crossing like this. That's what, it did in San Francisco for years, with the 2 wide receivers crossing like that, and your 2 DBs are getting hooked up like that. Now, if an offensive player hits that, that's a pick. But if an offensive player don't hit, if the 2 DBs run into each other, then that's a fair play. That's what the West Coast offense was based on. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to be creative on the offensive side. If you're not going to be able to run the football, you'll be able to pass it, do the wide receiver slip screens, do whatever you can do. Do the quick slants and what have you. Do whatever you can do. If they give you a 7 to 10 yard cushion, go with that and make the quick slant passes and what have you. That's how you move the ball down the football field, and that's how the linebackers start going out more. Like that, when you've got your tight ends that are running more and catching it over everybody. LSU's going to have to win it, the coaching battle, I think. They're going to have to outcoach the Clemson Tigers. They're going to have to outcoach them to win this game. They got just as many good athletes as LSU does, but at the same time, in certain positions. Clemson has a very strong defensive line, where LSU, when that coach is telling you they may rotate 8 players, no, you don't rotate 8 players. Now, I know in this college day and age, it's all about how you rotate guys in and out, because you have a long season and everything like that. But no. I mean, at the offensive line, you got to have continuity. You have consistency. You got to have consistency there. If you don't, you're in trouble. Look at if you've been a Saints fan for a few years, you know that's the case. So you have to be careful about that. So we'll pick what we think is going to happen coming up later on in the show. Coming up next, Southern played their first game in Week 0 against North Carolina Central. We'll talk about that when we come back right after this timeout. We're talking sports with me, Chris Powers. Jonathan's in the house, Martin's in the house. Back after this timeout right here.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, You understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouget today.
For a lot of people, going to the dentist brings anxiety. It can feel cold, rushed, even intimidating. We get it. That's why we built something different. We take the time, we listen, we know your name and your story because you're more than just a patient, you're family. You don't have to dread the dentist. You just need the right one. Call or visit FougetFamilyDentistry.com to schedule.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
If you're a wing lover like me, you already know where the best and biggest wings in Baton Rouge are. TJ Ribs on Acadia and I-10. But did you know they also provide some of the best catering in town? Yeah. Their catering packages are custom built for parties and tailgates and overflowing with the tastiest barbecue you can find. Whether you go with the MVP package, the Heisman, or the Natty, you can't go wrong with TJ Ribs because it's not just jumbo wings. They serve up truly tender beef brisket, perfectly roasted pulled pork, and smoky fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Don't forget the savory sausage and chopped beef. Come on down to TJ Ribs on Acadian and I-10, proud sponsors of the LSU Tigers and the Southern University Jaguars. All right, welcome back, everybody, as we continue talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan in the house, Marty's in the house. Of course, I was in Atlanta for the Southern game against North Carolina Central. It was the SWAC-MEAC Challenge over in Atlanta. It's the 20th game of that. It was the 7th time it was played in the Center Park Stadium. You know, I love the history of that. It was built in 94 for the Olympics. It opened in 96. Turner Field and what have you. It was an old stadium. They had no signs in there. I walked around that stadium 3 miles with equipment, looking to where I needed to go. No signs. I kid you not, no signs. And defensive coordinator Miller, Jonathan, I kid you not, coming down from the elevator to go down to the field, got lost. There's no signs anywhere in that stadium. And I asked the Georgia State guy, they had their shirts on, where's the radio booth? Oh, it's in 53 to 56. Went there, walked all the way over there around the stadium to get there. No, it's down one level. They didn't even know where the hell to go. And this is a SWAC-MEAC thing. And then I heard from other media people, they were like, we got to see if we got enough passes for you to be able to shoot down on the field. Excuse me? You want all the publicity you can get. That was absolutely horrific the way they ran that. I mean, this is 20th game. You got to be better than this. Come on. You got to be better than this. And you know where we were? The corner of the end zone. You can't see yard lines or nothing at the corner of the end zone. Now, ABC was in their plush 50-yard line with a horrible play-by-play announcer. She's horrible. She had to ask Jay Howard what a sweep was. Are you kidding me? And you're a play-by-play announcer for ESPN and ABC? She's horrible. And everybody says that. But they keep putting her on there. Anyway, enough about that. But let's take a look at the highlights of Southern versus North Carolina Central from that SWAC-MEAC Challenge. There we go. The quick passes. That Harris, that quarterback for North Carolina Central, did two-step drop back in a shotgun formation, passed the football because he knew, number one, Kelby Givens was on the other side. Look how quick. Bam. Also, the defenders were giving him a 7 to 10-yard cushion. You can't do that. Here's the run right here. This guy, Mosley, was the MVP of the ball game. He ran all over Southern. Southern had missed angles, and they had missed tackles in the ball game as well. And this right here shows you why, again, they should have played better. Watch the stiff arm right here by the quarterback. by the quarterback. You're trying to tackle by the shoulder pads. You learn that in high school. You can't do that. You gotta go by the waist or go by ankle tackles. And here's the touchdown by their big bruising running back, their third down back. That was the only touchdown he got in the entire game, but that was enough to take it a 7-0 lead right there for North Carolina Central. Rogers tried to get another run for a touchdown later, but he couldn't do it. Now here is the good play by Southern University. Cameron right here, McCoy, from the transfer from Jackson State. It was a design run, and nobody touched him. Nobody touched him. Watch this again. You'll see him go. It was a design run to the weak side of the line. The strong side was to the right side. A 69-yard touchdown run. Watch it what he does right here on the instant replay. He goes, and nobody touched him, and it's exactly what he wanted to do. He got an opportunity, and I'll tell you what, he was flying down that field. There's Terrence Graves happy. Here's the instant replay. Watch it right here. Bam. He's gone. He's gone. Nobody touched him, and he goes in for the 69-yard touchdown. At this point, we are tied at 7 apiece. Everything's looking good at this point in time. That's great. Southern University ties it. But here comes again North Carolina Central and the Eagles. Look how he pushed past it. That's crazy. And here's the quarterback running the football, and a great referee call. He fumbles the ball. His knees were 2 inches off the turf. And the referee, that judge right there saw that. You're going to see it on the instant replay right here. Watch how his knee was barely on, and they called it on the field a fumble. It stays that way. You can see the ball is gone. There's the football, and there's the knee. The ball is coming out when the knee touches. That's great. Southern gets the football. Here's Holly with a good run up the middle. Holly goes forward. I love that. He's like a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He goes forward. Now, this is a crazy play. It was down by contact, but they called it a fumble on the field. The tight end takes the ball and runs it down to the 1-yard line. And look, they eventually scored the touchdown. Before, though, Graves told me today that they did buzz down. They did buzz down and say, no, we need to look at that instant replay. That's why they didn't charge Southern a timeout. Trey Oliver didn't like it, so they took the ball back. But guess what Mosley does on the very next play? Gets it inside the 10-yard line. It's first down and goal after this run right here. They eventually would not get it in. They had to settle for a field goal. Southern's defense held good right here on this one. That was a big play, so they settled for the 31-yard field goal. It is good. That makes it 10-7. Now watch what Holly does. On the very next drive, Trey Holly, the transfer from LSU, he's everything but advertised. He's going to break a shoestring tackle. The guy got 2 hands on his feet. He's gone. And the safeties were in tight, everything. And look at that. Nobody's within anywhere from 13 to 17 yards from him. Nussmeier put that on social media and said, look at my boy go. 80-yard touchdown run for Trey Holly. It was absolutely unbelievable. He showed how he put the Jets on, and he went. Look at the shoestring tackle right there. He missed it. Holly is gone. Holly is unbelievable. He falls forward. He had no negative yards in the rushing department. But on the very next play, Southern has a short kickoff, and on the first play of that, from the 49-yard line of Southern, this guy, the MVP of the ball game, Mosley, takes it to the house himself, and he regains the lead, and Southern would never score again. Mosley with a long touchdown from 49 out, and they took a 17-14 lead into halftime. Southern did not do well with a 2-minute drill towards the end of the first half. They could have at least tried to get a touchdown. Then in the second half, here's Harris right here throwing to the tight end. That's the all-MEAC. It's Bracey. Bracey scores for the touchdown. That makes it 24-14, and then they make it 31-14, a 17-point deficit with another touchdown by a running back, and 31-14, 17-point victory for North Carolina Central, wins the game, and Southern starts the season at 0-1. There's no question about that. Trey Holly was as advertised, but you take away that 80-yard run and you take away that long 69-yard run, and Southern had less than 200 yards in total offense. So they have to go back to the drawing board. Their defense has to go back to the drawing board. There's no question. They had missed tackles, missed angles, and what have you. Jonathan, I know you watched the game right here. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, I was going into the game thinking that Jalen Woods is going to be the starting quarterback for the Southern Jaguars, and unfortunately there was a problem in-house that coach had to take care of, and discipline reasons why Cam had to start, and I thought Cam did a good job with his feet. Look, a lot of you folks out there might not know a lot about North Carolina Central. This team is very talented. One of the best teams in the MEAC. Trey Oliver did a great job. Coach Graves talked about how much respect he had for Coach Oliver and the great job that they really do. They returned a whole lot of talent on this team. Southern really had to go play a very clean game, and that's unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Having a backup quarterback Going into halftime, down 3 points, just gave up a backbreaker on one play. It's tough to fight back from that, and unfortunately in the second half, couldn't really get anything going offensively. I think the story, though, defensively, Southern had a lot of trouble stopping the run. I agree that Trey Holly was everything as advertised. The guy broke tackles. He had great speed. Put together running back. He's going to have a great season for the Jags. Unfortunately, defensively, got to run fit better. You can't just give up 6 yards a carry. It makes it really tough on the defense, getting gassed, play in and play out. I think if you can show up the front, run fit a lot better, I think the Southern Jaguars will be just fine in the SWAC. But it's just one game, SWAC MEAC challenge. It won't count against them. All the goals are still right in front of Southern. Nothing's out the window yet. So, like you said, got to go back to the drawing board, figure it out on offense. Got to tackle better on defense. But Coach Graves and that staff, they will get the job done. Yeah,
no question about that. Now, I'll say this, too, that Holly needs to have more than 10 touches. He had 10 touches in the ball game, 2 catches, so 12 total. Okay, but he has to have more than 10 attempts, and he's a great receiver out of the backfield. He reminds me a lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and when I say that, Jonathan, there was one play, I wish I'd have kept that footage, there was one play he bounced off of the defender, stood straight up and ran. That defender went to the ground and ran straight up. That's Clyde Edwards-Helaire all the way.
And that was on a swing pass, Chris. It should have been a loss of yards. We turned into a positive
That
game.
guy goes forward, man. He goes forward. It's crazy. And also Franklin. A big bruising back. He started the ball game, and he is a big bruising back. He's tough to handle. He should have had more touches as well in the ball game. Put them both in the ball game at the same time, where defense don't know who's going to get it. It's going to be and I don't want to say a finesse guy because Holly ran people over.
Yep.
Holly really did. That little short guy is good. Now, he'd be eligible for the NFL after this year. I wouldn't go. I'd wait for another year because this is going to be his first full season if he doesn't have any injuries, and I pray to God he doesn't. But I thought the quarterback play, I thought that Cameron put the ball in areas where the receivers could catch the ball. There's a couple that was batted down and what have you. They should have did more passing a little bit more, slants again and what have you. Tackling, as I mentioned, was bad. And also, for the whole game, they did 7 to 10 yards cushion. When that's where that quarterback Harris was 2-step drops, bam, slant. 2-step drops, hook pattern, slam. That's how he was doing all game long. You've got to be able to shore that up. You've got to be able to make that towards a bump coverage if you can, and have your safeties. I don't know. You don't want them to go over top, but I don't know. I think they'll have a different game this week against Mississippi Valley State. Here's the matchup that I've got with Southern versus Mississippi Valley State. All right, it's the Southern Jaguars taking on the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. Going to be in Inabena, Mississippi. Southern hadn't played there since 2015. It was a Thursday night game. It's been a long time since we've been down there in the Delta. We'll find out what happens on this Saturday. Southern coming off a loss, 0-1 on the year. A big loss to North Carolina Central and the Eagles. Southern just did not have a good game. They didn't tackle well on defense. You could see bad angles, missed tackles left and right. The quarterback Harris for North Carolina Central, as we mentioned earlier, he just took 2 steps back, bam, threw the football. Didn't get a chance for pass rush at all. It's going to be different in this football game, though. It'll be totally night and day difference in this game. There's no question about that. The question is, who's going to be quarterback? Obviously, with Jalen Woods and not playing, it was a disciplinary problem there. That's the reason he didn't start. Shame on him. Shame on him as a leader and a general of this football team. How can you do that in the first week? We don't know the extent of it, but he did play in the ball game. He did come in. He didn't look bad when he came in and played in that part. He was 4 for 5, but shame on you for not having a better sense to be ready for game one. Cameron McCoy, I mean, when I watched him, I think that he played well. He was 9 out of 14, but he still didn't just kill it. A lot of passes were knocked down. He had some deep passes that were right on the money in some ways. They were in the area of a receiver at least. They weren't far off. He was still kind of off with that, but he obviously ran. He ran that beautiful touchdown run that was absolutely incredible. He had a huge run from 69 yards out for the touchdown. He got down quick to make it 7-7 at that time. And then in the rushing department, Trey Holly was everything he said. A lot of people, though, were upset that he only got 10 carries in the ball game. He had 2 catches in that game as well. He got 119 total net yards, lost none. And you're not going to see him lose much. He goes forward every single time. He broke tackles, which was unbelievable. He had good angles. He had good stutter steps. Everything looked good for him. He really looked good. I also liked Mike Franklin as the bruiser. But Franklin got the start over Trey Holly. I don't know why Trey Holly didn't start, but Trey Holly came in the second series, I believe. But Mike Franklin was the bruiser on that team. Kobe Brown did run, and Jason Gabriel did run, but it wasn't much there at all. On the passing side, as far as the receiving side, I should say, not much there going on, of course, because of the fact that they couldn't get their passing down. On defense, Horatio Johnson played good. When you got one of your DBs leading the team in tackle at 13, you know you got a problem. Vincent Page Jr., he's the linebacker. He got 9 tackles in the ball game. Elijah West got 8. And obviously in this game, everyone was shocked that Kelby Givens was not a big factor in this game. A lot of them, they went away from Kelby Givens on the pass, on the quick step back, but also on the run. Now, sometimes they did go down Kelby Givens' way, but they double-teamed him and chipped him off and basically ran on the inside of him where he couldn't get to it at all. They double-teamed him like crazy. He's going to have to get more involved, and that's, hey, you got to expect that. As an All-American player as you are, you're going to get hit that way, and you're going to be double-teamed all night long, and you're going to have your plays going along you on the other side. Now, for the other side, Mississippi Valley State, what a potential change and optimism. They hired former NFL player Terrell Buckley as its new head coach. He comes in as the first time ever as a college football coach. Never been a college coach, period, in his life. So we're going to see how he does with that. Buckley, former player and also an XFL coach, didn't do well in the XFL, though, and has come here with that. So we'll see what happens with this football team here. This team's got brand new prospects. I look for Southern to easily win this football game here. Easily. They'll win it on the road at Enabita, Mississippi. Southern has won 6 in a row in this series, or 9 in one of the last 10 games. I know that don't mean a hill of beans in this game, but I do think that we're going to win this game relatively easily. Southern will go 1-1 on the season. This does not count in SWAC standings, by the way. It does not count. This is a regular game against Mississippi Valley State, who is a SWAC opponent, but this does not count as a SWAC game. All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, so getting ready for Southern. It's a 4-hour drive if you're going I-12 to I-55. That's crazy that you think you have to go that way. You go through Natchez, and that's about almost 5-hour drive going through the Delta. It's best to go 55, go that way, and get off at Indianola. That's what Coach Graves told me that today, because Coach Graves coached there for a while. He was assistant head coach, and he was also linebacker coach there, so he knows that area real well. Terrell Buckley, big-time player, played at Florida State, was a big player at Florida State, all-pro in the National Football League, and also a Super Bowl winner. He played for several teams in the National Football League. He's a new coach. He's never coached college in his life. And so it's a whole new different ballgame. I think Southern's going to spank them. We'll look at that a little bit further on, but I think they're going to spank them with that. We'll pick the scores after that. Saints cut day is today. All the National Football League is today. Breaking news keeps coming in and coming in. We'll look at that when we come back. Talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan in the house, Martin's in the house. Back after this time out on Pelican Sports TV. If you're a wing lover like me, you already know where the best and biggest wings in Baton Rouge are. TJ Ribs on Acadian and I-10. But did you know they also provide some of the best catering in town? Yeah. Their catering packages are custom built for parties and tailgates and overflowing with the tastiest barbecue you can find. Whether you go with the MVP package, the Heisman, or the Natty, you can't go wrong with TJ Ribs, because it's not just jumbo wings. They serve up truly tender beef brisket, perfectly roasted pulled pork, and smoky fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Don't forget the savory sausage and chopped beef. Come on down to TJ Ribs on Acadian and I-10, proud sponsors of the LSU Tigers and the Southern University Jaguars.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouché today.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Growing up in this office, I saw what made it different. My dad knew every name, every story. He made people feel comfortable even when they were nervous. And I learned something important. When you treat people like family, they remember it. That's how we've grown, through referrals, relationships, and real trust. That's the kind of care I believe in, and it's exactly what you'll find here at Fouché Family Dentistry. Fouché Family Dentistry, rooted in family, focused on you. Call or visit FouchéFamilyDentistry.com to schedule.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, as we continue to talk sports with me, Chris Powers. Today, the NFL has to cut their players to 53-man roster by 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Time. Quarterback battle has been announced. Spencer Rattler will be your starting quarterback for the start of the Saints season. He was 30 out of 43 for the preseason, 295 yards. He went 1 touchdown, 1 interception. No touchdowns against the Denver Broncos. Tyler Shuck, 36 of 54, 67%, 333 yards total, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So, to me, stat-wise, he's better. But at the same time, and he had a rushing touchdown in that game against Denver, by the way. But at the same time, I guess what they're doing is giving Rattler, because he played, last year in the NFL. He played, 6 games, 7 games? I think it was 7? 0-7. Okay? None of those two, set the world on fire. None of them won. They both were horrible in the red zone. That's what I said last week. Y'all wanted Derek Carr gone? Good. You got him gone. Now who the hell you have? Now you're going to be Indianapolis Colts and all those Pittsburgh Steelers. At least Pittsburgh make the playoffs. You're going to be all those teams that don't make the playoffs for another 4 or 5 years. Okay? That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. You got it. That's what you wanted, Saints fans. You got it. Congratulations. And look, I've been a Saints fan all my life, since they were incepted. I've been a Saints fan for all their lives. I'm disappointed in Saints fans that did that. I really am, big time. But, again, I'm not saying he was Drew Brees, but, again, he was better than what we're going to have. So there ain't no doubt in my mind the Saints got to go after a quarterback next year. Now, you got $20 million under the salary cap this year, but next year you won't have that. You'll be in the red again for the start of the season. So, tough decisions going on today. We're going to be looking at a couple of them here in a moment. We did get word that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been cut. He's gone. Super Bowl winning running back, national championship running back for the LSU Tigers. He's gone. He was cut today. Asim Richards, I don't know how you say his first name, Asim, from Dallas, has been picked up via trade. They trade draft picks and Richards. Dallas is going to get a 7th-round draft pick, or a 6th-round draft pick. Oh, no, in the 7th round, and the Saints will get a late 7th-round draft pick for him. I think that's correct. He's going to play left guard. So Trevor Penning, we wasn't hearing anything, just gets started and has a turf toe for the 2nd time in his career. Look, there's a flower shop on the corner of Canal looking for somebody to work, Trevor. Go enjoy yourself, because you apparently ain't a damn football player. As big as you are, I'd be so embarrassed if I'm as big as this guy is, not only height-wise, but his arm span and his back is that big. And you can't make the National Football League. There's no doubt in my mind. My goodness gracious. Come on. But, they didn't cut him. He's going to be there. But they didn't also pick up his 4th-year option either. There's no doubt he'll be gone after this year. So there's a good chance that this new guy, Richards, could be the new starting left guard. We're going to see. I don't know. Jake Haener has been released. Jonathan, you and I talked about that. Now, he doesn't count for the 53-man roster as an emergency quarterback, but you count for the salary cap. They wouldn't pay him much anyway, but he couldn't make it again, so he's gone. He's done. I don't know if they're going to pick up another player. Do they have another quarterback on the roster? I know they had 3
They
with
had that
Hainer.
kid Decker, but I'm not sure if Decker's still there. They signed him in the offseason to come compete, but I'm not sure if he's still there.
Yeah, so you're going to either have to get an emergency quarterback, or when Taysom Hill comes back, he could be your emergency quarterback because you're already paying him buku money for this year anyway. No word. Their Saints are not releasing it. He's not saying it when he'll be back. He's on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list. So he's on the PUP list. No word on when he's going to come back. Okay? So we'll have to watch that big time. But he still, can you believe this, Jonathan? He still says that he could be a quarterback in the National Football League. No. I love you to death, and you're great. You can do it all. But you cannot be a regular starting quarterback. I'm sorry, just not there. So Hainer is gone. Now they announced Rattler as the starting quarterback today. Your thoughts? I think everyone says the Saints are going to be bad. I think defensively will be good. I think defensively will be maybe 15, top 15. Offensively, we're going to be horrific. Cannot get scoring in the red zone. We cannot do it. It's going to be bad. What say you, Jonathan?
Well, fortunately, Chris, I was able to attend the Saints game. Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos came into New Orleans on Saturday. I was one of maybe 33,000 people, probably over almost half of that fan attendance in the Superdome was Denver Bronco fans. At least that's what they were wearing. Maybe they were supporting Sean Payton and live in New Orleans. I'm not sure. But if my life had a soundtrack to it while I'm watching that game and all the players talking to Sean Payton, giving him hugs, all the former Saints that, couldn't make it into the Dennis Allen regime that Sean Payton took to Denver, all these guys are just beat you now giving hugs. And it would be that song from Titanic, that sad song where they're like, please come back, please come back. Because I'm not saying Kellen Moore's going to be a bad head coach, but these two organizations are in different places. The Saints have done nothing this preseason to give me any type of hope that they're going to make a playoff run. In a bad division, I think it's going to be the Bucs again. They're going to be the only team to win it 4 times in a row. Unfortunately for the Saints, it's an aging roster behind not a lot of talent, a lot of dead money that was cleared up from the Derek Carr situation, but it didn't really help that much this season. According to the roster right now on the internet, the Saints do only have 2 quarterbacks, so I do expect them to sign another one, maybe from a guy who got cut. Maybe an Anthony Richardson makes his way down to New Orleans. Couldn't make it in Indianapolis. There's not a lot to be excited for,
No.
but at least it's a new day in New Orleans. They're getting rid of that kick the can down the road mentality. Kellen Moore, a brand new 37-year-old head coach, can have a fresh set of eyes, a fresh perspective on how this organization should be run. Has good assistants at the offensive and defensive coordinator spot. Blake Grupe, the kicker for the Saints, will be electric this season. The guy's back healthy, looked great in the preseason. I don't think I saw him miss a kick. 50-plus, well within his range. So I think he's going to be the highest scoring player for the Saints this year. Alvin Kamara, a little bit of tread left on that tire. They didn't play him a lot in the preseason, so I think he's going to have to work himself in. But it's going to be a big year for Kendre Miller if that offensive line could gel. But interior offensive line, Cesar Ruiz, Trevor Penning, both those guys way too inconsistent, but the highs are no longer even there. It's just lows. So going to be tough, Chris. Originally, I thought the ceiling for this team was 6 wins. The more I watch them play, unfortunately, I just keep lowering that number. So now I got them at 5. And if the Saints somehow win above 5 games, I think Kellen Moore did a great job.
Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. All right, it's official. All the cuts have been announced. It's from the NOLA.com. Tight end Trayton Welch did not make it. Defensive end Isaiah Foskey didn't make it. Wide receiver Kevin Austin didn't make it. Obviously, as we mentioned, Jake Hainer, quarterback, is gone. So they didn't announce if they kept anybody there. Other quarterback, DeMarco Jackson, linebacker, is gone. Dallas Benham is gone. Cornerback, Jaden Peavy. Defensive tackle is gone. Offensive line, Easton Kilty is gone. Shane Lemieux is gone. Because of the fact he was injured and what have you, keeps getting injured. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back, is gone. Jonah Williams, defensive end. They're loaded. They're good at defensive end. I don't think we need that. Safety Terrell Burgess is gone. Dante Pettis is gone. Pettis was cut. Yeah. Wide receiver is gone. Elliott Davidson, the safety is gone. Jaden Price is gone. Cornerback. Nephi Sewell, linebacker, is gone. Charlie Smith, he didn't do bad either. But like you said, with grouping, the ball explodes off his foot. And I was wrong. When we kept him, I was wrong. And let's go, I was wrong. I thought they were making a horrible mistake because whatever. He missed one field goal in not preseason. He was perfect in preseason. He missed one field goal in all of training camp. One. That's unbelievable. Marcus Yarns, running back, is gone to the PUP list. Taysom Hill, as we know, Foster Moreau. So they kept Foster Moreau, at least for now.
Yeah, he's on the PUP list. He's not on the active roster
No.
on our website right now, but he is on the team. The cornerback Prince was trying to be only the second white cornerback in the league. Hopefully that guy can stay on the practice squad, develop some skills, and stay around because, yeah, it's tough to cut it.
Yeah, no problem, no doubt. And then offensive tackle Landon Young has been injured reserve.
Yep.
Defensive tackle John Ridgway designated to return, and also offensive tackle Barry Wesley designated to return. So that's what's going on. We have no word of Taysom Hill or Foster Moreau is going to come back. And we want Foster Moreau to come back. Obviously, he's a very tough kid. But notice that, talking about that, last year, remember that throw where Derek Carr was running to his right, threw the ball across the field, and Foster Moreau, it was a perfect
In
pass.
the back of the end zone, yeah.
Like I said, for all you Derek Carr, and I know you and I talked about it, for you, all you Derek Carr people that hated him, you got what you wish for. God bless you. Those are the same Saints fans that saying we should have drafted Shador. We should have drafted Shador. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm glad you're not coaching the team. We'll be back to wrap things up, talking with sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan in the house, Marty's in the house, back after this time out right here on Pelican Sports TV.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fouget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fouget today.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
If you're a wing lover like me, you already know where the best and biggest wings in Baton Rouge are. TJ Ribs on Acadian and I-10. But did you know they also provide some of the best catering in town? Yeah. Their catering packages are custom built for parties and tailgates and overflowing with the tastiest barbecue you can find. Whether you go with the MVP package, the Heisman, or the Natty, you can't go wrong with TJ Ribs because it's not just jumbo wings. They serve up truly tender beef brisket, perfectly roasted pulled pork, and smoky fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Don't forget the savory sausage and chopped beef. Come on down to TJ Ribs on Acadian and I-10, proud sponsors of the LSU Tigers and the Southern University Jaguars.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As we're talking sports with me, Chris Powers, Jonathan here as well. We get ready now for the deal. Shiloh Sanders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back cornerback. Of course, came from Colorado, started at Jackson State. He's Deion Sanders' son. Idiot got in a fight, punched a guy in the face right in front of the referee. As the head coach, Bowles looked at him as he was coming off the field on the sideline, gave him a glance that would cut through you like big time. Cut him the next day.
Yep.
If you're going to be stupid, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And, he's going to be picked up by – who's going to pick him up? He wasn't drafted. He's done. Done. Go be assistant coach at Colorado. Can you believe that?
He better go hope his brother gets him a job with the Browns.
Yeah, and even Shador's hanging on by a thread. They'll keep him because of all publicity. They'll keep him. He'll be the emergency quarterback because they traded Pickett, and they're going to keep what's his name on
Flacco and Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel, and they'll keep what's his name on injured reserve. Quarterback
not
who came
Flacco.
from Houston Texans.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Which has got an incredible arm, but in the head. I mean, I saw him throw a 47-yard touchdown pass when Houston played the Saints on that Monday Night Football.
Right.
Jonathan, I was at that game, and I'm telling you, it was on a frozen freaking rope.
Yep.
I've never seen a pass thrown like that. This guy's got unbelievable talent.
That was right before it all came down, huh?
Oh,
Yep.
Unbelievable. Center Park Stadium was old, decrepited. I hate that because that's where I caught that foul ball. There was no sign telling you where to go in the field. I walked 3 miles around that stadium. Cheese and peace. Nobody knew where the hell to go. And Georgia State people were there. And they've had that game there for 7 years now, 7 seasons. I would not. And I was in the corner of the end zone. You know how hard it is to see to say the play-by-play where the yardage is? You can't see the yard markers. Sean Payton honors Fats Domino by bringing the tape. They were supposed to do it before the game when they got into town, but the plane was late, so they went after the game was over. He took them over to the cemetery and visited a great, and nobody knew him. I think 5 or 10 people waved their hands if they ever heard him sing. Cheese and peace. Come on, guys. Dixon McMakin, I think that's his name, Representative Baton Rouge. I don't know who the hell he is. He's a new PA guy for LSU. That's what we go through. Doesn't matter how good a voice you got. Doesn't matter how good you are. It's because you know people you know people. That's like well, my dentist is now my cardiologist because I know him. You got to be kidding me. Auburn claims their 9 national championships now. When I was going through Auburn's and stopped at that Buc-ee's, I started to, take a whiz all over their freaking thing. Because come on, man, I'd be embarrassed if I'm an Auburn fan. They claimed the 1958 season when LSU won the national title. Get the hell out of here. Well, you got that from the Turkey Creek Gazette? Get out of here with that shit. All right, here we go. Pick'em game. LSU Clemson. Who you got?
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry to say I got to go Clemson. It's at their home game, LSU's offensive line. I'm taking Clemson by 10. I'll take 38-28 Clemson.
I got the same thing. I got if LSU does win this game, they're going to win a national championship. They're going to win a title. If they can win this game, they're going to win a national championship. Texas, Ohio State, I've got Ohio State winning because it's at home. It's at home. I know Ohio State won it last year as well. Arch Manning's first game, I got Ohio State winning.
Give me the Arch Manning and the Longhorns. Ohio State, slow start last year. Almost got the coach fired, won a national championship. But give me Arch Manning in a debut, light up the scoreboard.
Alabama at Florida State. Saban's going. We're going to go to an actual place to play and not a neutral site.
Yeah.
I got Alabama still winning this game.
Yeah, I got Alabama too, Chris. Alabama.
All right, Notre Dame at Miami, Monday night game. I got Notre Dame winning.
I'll take Miami. Spent a lot of money the offseason. Carson Beck, quarterback for Georgia, now a Hurricane.
Southern Valley, I think Southern wins easy.
Southern taking it. Southern.
We'll see about it next week. We'll see who's right and wrong next week. Talking sports with me. Bye-bye.
Johnson heads to the block.